So it's past 1 a.m. now, on the 24th of July, 2026. I couldn't sleep because of some existential dread. This always happens every night that I always deal with, that I've been dealing for a long time now. I remember around 7 was like the first time when it started, and that was a particularly rough period of my life where during the nighttime I'll sleep very late because I would be afraid of sleeping because I didn't want to die. And then in the morning, I would not want to wake up and get out of bed because I didn't want to continue existing in the world, basically. And that has really built a kind of habit, I suppose, throughout my life where I definitely prefer the nocturnal hours more so than the mornings. But the the existential thoughts have just always been attacking me at night for some reason, uh, which isn't great because I need to sleep, and I'm supposed to go gym tomorrow morning at 7:50. So not the greatest, but it really hurts, thinking about not only the death of myself, but like almost like the death of the universe. It's very bleak. It's all gray, and it's very very painful. It's very painful. It's like an indescribable, ineffable pain. It just plagues you. It's very bad. It's very awful, and it shakes up your whole existence. You, you're like, what? You get out of bed, and you're like, man, man, biology is crazy. Ugh. And I said this before, but sometimes, obviously, I know that my death is coming, my time is coming up, but sometimes I'm alright with it. I understand that, and I accept it, or maybe I acknowledge it, but sometimes I'm really not alright. Sometimes it really bothers me a lot, and that's when I feel the pain the most. And tonight that happened again, and then I stopped and then I analyzed myself. Why did I begin feeling this way? And I think whenever I feel like this, I think outside of myself. Like I stop thinking like a human, like my own life. I think outside of it almost. And in a way, it really simulates death, you know? Because my consciousness, my existence, everything, my entire world, this entire world, this entire universe, is how I perceive it. And when I'm gone, when I'm no longer able to perceive this, it's all just emptiness. It's so dark. Because right now I can recall on my past and see what I've done in the past, and see what has led me here through all those times, all these years. And right now I can enjoy the present moment and what I can choose to do right now. I can plan the next few days on what I'm doing. I can plan for the next few years. I can see my life in the 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, maybe 80s, 90s, who knows. But the problem is, I also see death. I know that my time is coming, but also the problem is that it could come at any time. And that is quite fearful. Because truly, those old people that you see around, at least from my perspective, as someone who is young, seeing these old people around, like maybe people will see it, but really, it is such a privileged position to be at that age because I think so much and understand so much about other people around me. That's how I can really see that there are many people who die way earlier, in their 30s, 20s, some even teenagers. And if you die earlier than that, I think it's even better, honestly, because then you wouldn't have formed a completely conscious experience of it. So perhaps in a way, it's better to go before then. And as of right now, at my age, I'm very deeply bothered about death and my non existence. But I wonder if I am lucky and privileged enough to live until 80s, 90s, maybe even hundreds. Who knows where medical advances will go, but I wonder how different my mindset will be then. Right now, there are so many dreams and aspirations and hope I have for the future and what I want to do for not only myself but for others as well. That's why I'm so plagued by it, because of the fact that I know it could occur to me at any time. Because all those other people, they have their entire world to them, their entire existence, everything revolves around them. Their entire existence, their point of view is the world. It is existence themselves. And yet when they die, it's just nothingness. It's just all gone. And those very same people, they probably had dreams and aspirations too. They probably had things they wanted to do not only for themselves, but for other people too. And they, like me, probably also fear death as well. And yet they still died. Early. And perhaps unpredictably. One day they could be walking around, continuing with their life, hoping for the future and planning for the future. And the next day they could be gone. And that's it. Nothingness. I wonder, when I'm 80, 90, would I think of it so very differently? If I had achieved everything that I wanted and explored what I wanted to out of this world, would I be content with what I have experienced and be alright with death? Because what bothers me so now is because of the things I want to do. But when I reach that age, would I be alright with death? The sad part, of course, is not knowing if I will be able to reach there. And that's what deeply bothers me too. Because I could die tomorrow or anytime. And that's a large shame. It is really crazy, the disparity between the human race. Because there are many other people who live on lesser instincts and do things such as kill each other. Which is really quite absurd, because for what do you take another human's life like that? Who has their own entire existence. It's everyone's first time living. It's everyone's first and only time existing in this world. And to rob someone's life like that is quite absurd. Like those who are putting out the actions of doing such things, both from a person directly doing it and from someone indirectly who are controlling it and see humans as nothing but numbers. Because if you were put in that position where you were on the other side, would you just accept your death like that? Would you think that it is fair? Though I guess fairness doesn't matter. It's just my human brain telling me that. Because in all reality, this it just is what it is, and circumstances are circumstances. But at least for those deaths that are just plain stupid, like how I'm here, but in other parts of the world, there are people fighting amongst themselves to the point of death just because of some stupid things, for some pride and ego. Another human's life. They're not even alive, it's their whole universe that they see. Gone. Those who walk with dreams and aspirations just like me, those who fear death just like me, one day, one random day, they could be gone unexpectedly. Many have in the past. And the thing with that is that once they're dead, it doesn't matter anymore. It doesn't matter at all what hopes or dreams or aspirations they had. It doesn't matter if they fear death or not. Because after they're dead, it would just be nothing. It's nothingness. Their dreams and aspirations, whether they achieved it or not, matters not at all. What only mattered would be in the present moment in which you were alive. What mattered would be the 1 second before you were dead. And during that second, you can believe whatever you wanted to. You can believe whether you were right or wrong. But that's the only time when it actually matters. Maybe you can believe that you were right about something and die with a sense of peace. But it doesn't matter once you are dead. Because whether you were right or wrong, whether what you believed in was real or fake, it doesn't matter at all after the time has passed and after you are dead. And that's what sucks about it, honestly. Because you can look at it from the positive side, that any pain and suffering you had would all be gone anyways as well. But the point of that is that it's so bleak. Because humans think about time in like a linear sense, you know? You go from the past, you go to the present, you go to the future, you know? But really, time is just a continuum. That's what it really is. It's almost like it updates instantaneously. An old present, old past, present, future, all in one single place. That's what it really is. That's what it really feels like. Once you're dead, it updates instantaneously. And it was as if you were dead the entire time. So what would be better? To not exist at all, or to die after living a life? And perhaps there actually is no difference, from your perspective, at least. What sucks about it is any dreams and hope, aspirations, it's all gone. Meaning, if you had achieved them, then it's nothing anyways after you die. It's all nothingness. So whether you achieved it or not, it's all nothingness. That's why it is so bleak. Because no matter what you do, the outcome is the exact same thing. The only thing that changes it is what you leave behind and how you affect others. That's the only thing. But from then, you can't tell anyways. It's only before death, right before death, that you can die comfortably knowing that you've achieved your goals or you've done well for others before death. But after death, it'll all be the same anyways. So I guess what really pushes people to do something or to die for something is really the love they have for the things that are still existing in the world. Perhaps like the loved ones, what they want to do for the loved ones. and the legacy, quote unquote, that they want to leave behind. Throughout history, many people have wanted to make a name for themselves, so it feels like they really continue existing through history, through the people, through future civilizations. But all that matters not. There's all but transience as well. Because then you're just thinking short term. Like after you're dead, sure you can think about another few hundred years, and a few thousand, a few 10,000. What about 100,000? What about a million? What about a couple million? What about a billion years later? That is why time isn't linear, it's instantaneous like that. It matters not whether you left behind a legacy at all. And what you do for your loved ones, that's why you died. Your loved ones, okay, well, they'll die too. And what about the grandsons? What about the granddaughter? What about their grandsons and granddaughter? Do you still have any connections to them? Emotionally? Physically? As a human, we're not built to be all encompassing like that. Another form is that other people see their sons or daughters as a way to carry themselves into the future. But I just can't, I'm so detached from that. Maybe it's because of the void I have in my life about love and family connection. But at least from my eyes, my reality, how I see reality, is that they're just so completely different from you. Sure, they have your genes and the partner that you chose for life, or whichever partner, breeding partner that you had. They're half of their genes as well. But their mind is something completely different from yours. And whatever you wish for them, they may not reciprocate. And sure, whatever you do for them, they're gonna get kids as well. How much are you attached to their kids? And their kids, they're gonna get kids as well. How much are you gonna get to those? And when you go so far down the line, do you really care? Would you really care? Many people now, if I asked you, your great 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 grandfather, you wouldn't even know them. And if you did, do you care? That is really the emptiness of it all. It is all just temporary. And that's why it's just nothingness. That's why my world feels so bleak and grey. And suppose that's not a great way of seeing it, because I'm no longer living like a human. It's very dangerous. It's very dangerous. I've already stopped thinking, well, at times, like a human, completely, and become so detached and alienated from my own thoughts a while ago. But if I continue down this path and become more and more alienated to what it means to live like a human, then I don't know anymore what will happen. Because I can't get rid of myself. Like, as a human, I am a human, and I have emotions. And I think I thought about this recently, but every human thought and action are all influenced by emotions. They're all they're all fundamentally acted through emotion. Every thought you have that you think is logical as well is all through emotions. In some form, in some way. So I don't know. I don't know what the resolution or conclusion to this all is. the more I think about, there's just more pain, and I get more and more mangled in this twisted dark web, this void, this abyss. It just keeps going deeper and deeper and deeper. And I don't know. I don't know anymore. Like I think so much and so broad into so many different kinds of ways to think about it. But I'm more gravitated towards this. Now there could be two reasons why. One, either this is actually true, and this is objective reality as it is. Second, is because of my environmental nurturing through my childhood, and potentially because my genes allowed me to have the capacity to have these types of thoughts in this direction. It's weird. Like, I know that your entire human, like literally your world is your entire world is from your head, you know. If you believe something, you completely believe it. That's just how it is. And when you see other people, you can definitely see that. When you think about programming other people's brains, you basically control their reality. That means I can do that to myself as well. But I just won't. There are things that I wouldn't choose to believe in, which is so weird because it would do me better, right? Like it would be so much better if I wasn't thinking, capable of thinking such things. Because I would just live a life like any other human. And then I'll die. And that'll be it. But now this has caused me so much suffering. And I'm still gonna die. And the outcome is the same. It's all about the present moment, I guess. Because once you die, all matters nothing. So it's what you make of the present the most. It's crazy. There's so many different philosophies to live by. You know, you can go to carpe diem and do all this crazy shit because truly the only present matters. But if you were to not only think about that, but also think about the future, you can set up your future days as well. And the reality is that you don't know what day you will die. So truly, it is all just a gamble. You know, it is all just about taking different kinds of risks. I mean, the reality is I don't have to have everything figured out right now because I am still young, and logically, statistically, I still have a decent amount of time to live, to explore, to do different things that I want to do, that I wish to do, before it's too late. So hopefully there's more time, you know. And actually, I built this mental model like a couple weeks ago, actually, when I had this thought, you know, when I was dealing with trouble. And basically, it just came to two conclusions. There's two paths, really, you know. I encountered two paths. So, basically, we know that death is coming, right? On these two paths, we know that death is coming. Okay. One, we can worry about the fact that death is coming. Okay. On the first path, we can worry about worry that death is going to come. And so that basically hinders my life. You know, it's really plagued me. It stops me being productive. It stops me sleeping. Like right now, when I need to go gym 7:50 tomorrow morning, It stops my life, okay, makes me in a productive role, and there's two outcomes that can happen. Either I actually die early, so the whole time I'm just worrying about death coming early, and it actually does come early, and I just die, and then I won't have anything to think about afterwards. Or it can actually come way later on. So what happens is I just waste more time worrying about death and not achieving the things, and I'll wake up one day when I'm 30, I'll wake up one day when I'm 40, look around my life and wonder, how did I get here? I haven't achieved a single goal, aspiration, and I'm 40? Time passed, I'm still alive, but I haven't done shit. Or second path is to acknowledge that death's coming, and I just ignore it. I put it on the back burner for now. The reason why is because I'm still young. There are many goals. There are many physical reality things that I need to achieve first. Then I can focus on the mental side and deal with this grand topic of death. Because in my face right now, in my daily life, there are things and tasks that I need to complete, that I need to conquer, and that I need to achieve. Not only for myself, but for others as well. So, apply the same two situations. Either death actually comes early. So what I did right now is I focused on my physical reality, not thinking about death at all. What I did is I did what I could whilst I lived, and I left a more positive impact on those around me, and I died. And it doesn't matter at all. And second situation, death actually comes later. So what happens now is that I have already achieved my physical reality goals. I've already did what I want to do for others. And now when I'm 30, 40, I look around and I realize I'm still alive. I've achieved all the base things that are necessary. Now it's finally time to focus on the mental and metaphysics side of things, because my physical life has set me up to allow me to have time and energy and focus to work on such things. And so obviously, when you lay the two paths down like that, either worrying about it, about death coming early, or completely ignoring that death is going to come early, really it only leaves me with one obvious path, right? Like there's only one path I can really choose here, which is to just not worry about death coming early, because if it comes either way, if it comes or not comes early, it doesn't matter after I'm dead anyways. But what matters is that that has a slight edge on what I can do for others rather than the other one. And it also doesn't hinder my life as well. So logically, there's only one choice there. But obviously, it is much easier said than done. It's very hard to execute. And especially since these thoughts that I'm having aren't very controllable. Well, at least maybe I'm just not skilled enough at the current moment to control and contain them, or find methods to do them. But I guess this is one method in which I talk it out and upload this on YouTube. Always at night, man. Maybe actually, you know what? Maybe it's because I'm tired that my mental thought is let down. Because then during the daytime, it's always there. It's not like it goes away. It's always there, pressuring me. But I'm able to live and act like not my other versions of myself to other people, because I guess I'm switched on. And that thing's more pushed on the back. But now, when it comes to nighttime, I guess old defenses drop. And so I'm tired, I'm exhausted. And that's when it creeps up on me, I suppose. Wow, what a predicament. This is absurd. What I really wonder is like how there are not more people just thinking about this. Surely the world would be so much more smoother. As well, I don't know. I guess the problem is I'm 19 right now, and if everyone, because I haven't done shit in my life, because I've been worrying about such things, because I've been focused so much more on my mental world rather than physical world, and develop my mental inside rather than my physical reality, that I'm like this now and haven't achieved much in my physical reality. So if everyone else, or at least if a lot majority of people were to do the same, then the Earth wouldn't be running. Okay, I mean this is all hypothetical and this yeah, because that's not very accurate to calculate something like that. But my point was that like if everyone wants to do that, then obviously there'll be less workers and stuff, or like people doing certain jobs because of a difference in intelligence, right? And also in what they would choose to do then, knowing that they're going to die and the death is creeping up on them. And also if they spent much more time on the mental stuff, they wouldn't achieve physical things early on in life. And then because I'm still haven't figured everything out, I'm only 19. And sorry, I haven't achieved everything out and I'm already 19. I've been existing for 19 years. Like age is just a number. Age is just a number. It's not about like your age comparative to the rest. Like 19 years is a lot of time. Because 7 years old is when I had existential crises. And that would be already like that's very young. But age is just a number. That's the thing. It's just my biological age. Whereas my mental is very different. Because what's really lacking is my physical reality, and that's what I need to change. Right now, starting from today. There are things that must be done, and I shall work hard to get there, to achieve them. Which would allow me to better develop my mental world. And my reality up there. The point is that I'm still lacking a lot of information. There's no point being so set and determined on such things right now, because what if there is no heat death of the universe? What if there are multiple dimensions that goes out? What if another alien civilization simulated this universe? Anything is just out there. That's what's another thing I didn't understand about human civilization actually as well, is that we should be progressing more towards these things, right? Shouldn't we? Like I just feel like the entire world is just filled with beguilement, and I'm not here to just solely criticize it because I am also part of it because I'm born into this world. Um, Humans generally love to conform and stuff, but also because it is addictive, you know. Beguilement, I mean, just like, because why does I was thinking this as a kid, why does human civilization not really progress towards things such as, you know, like conquer star systems and keep developing and expanding across the universe and learn way more deeper about the universe, what it actually is, why it is existing, and also what is outside of the universe. I feel like humanity as a whole is not really progressing towards that goal, you know, when I look around. And I see a lot of beguilement and a lot of like entertainment that we humans have created for ourselves. Like why do we create games that's more recent? And then why do we create like sports even, you know? Why don't we watch the NBA? Why don't we watch the FIFA? Why don't we watch like World Cup? You know? Why don't we watch all these different sports? Do all these things? Why do we watch TV shows? Why do we watch all these movies? Why should we not be progressing as a civilization towards those things? But then, another perspective I had is that maybe this, what if this is it? Like, what if this is it? And again, it's all about the present moment. It's all about enjoying what you can in the present moment. And most people find these things entertaining because it's called entertainment after all. It's all entertainment. But is this like a trap? Is this something that is more like, is this something that is worth humanity participating in, to build entertainment, to engage in entertainment and games and have it as part of a culture? Because humans conform. So if that's a common thing, then all humans in future generations as well is going to. I mean, we see this especially with our generation and the next generation. A lot of social media, and not only that, but a lot of short form social media as well, which can be argued as quite damaging, honestly, for the brain, you know, but also for civilization, for future civilization, and what they can do. There are obviously pros and cons, but the point is that, is this really what we should be doing as a species in the universe, or should we be tackling more of those things? But the question is, should we? That's the whole thing. That's what is so troublesome. You know, like just the disparity across humans in this one species is absurd. This disparity. In the future, then I wonder, would there be such a huge separation between those who choose a certain thing, a choose those a choice of certain lives, how they choose to live their life, or how they choose to exist in this universe? You can choose to either be a player in this universe and just explore what is offered to you by the predecessors and what's already around you, through the jobs that you get, through hobbies that you participate, through games that you have, through finding a partner, having kids, growing up, getting old, building the family, and dying. Or you can choose the pursuit of knowledge, discover deeper questions about life, death, existence, and the universe. Go further beyond to what is outside of the universe. I think that will be like, almost you can recognize them as a complete different species, honestly. I would like to say I have very good foresight. And that could be like a potential future scenario where there is such a big divide between the intelligent and the non intelligent. No, that's the wrong way to put it. I guess it's between those who are enlightened to see certain things compared to those who aren't able to see it, to see the reality of the world that they're in. And not only that, but then the choice, what they choose to do. Do they choose to pursue those things, or do they choose to continue living life as others around them do? That's a true question. And it's not easy. And I don't think there is like an accurate choice to this, because at the end of the day, it's all about what you choose to do, because this is your first and only time living. And any choice you make is just all yours, and it's your life, you live it through. It doesn't matter, not for others. It's all for you. Well, I kind of feel a bit more optimistic actually. When I started, I felt very pessimistic on this outlook, but now I actually feel a bit more optimistic. I'm almost encouraged to seek for more knowledge. I've always been very curious as a kid, questioning about everything as a kid. I don't know why. I think it's innate within me for some reason, even though I don't think it's a genetic disposition, but it could be like a mutation. I'm not sure because my parents certainly aren't like that, and none of my relatives are like that. Like as a kid, especially, and even now, to be honest, I can't relate with anyone in terms of my existence and how I see existence, how I see society, and how I see human civilization. I don't know. Oh, well, I'm confident in my future me's ability to do something about the world, if it is necessary. It may not be. But I mean, like, it's pretty obvious that when you think about human civilization, and if you think about technological advancements, that it would head that way, would it not? Especially with the advent of AI. But anything could happen. We could get, into another mass extension and stuff. Maybe all humans will die before we even get even close to anything significant within the universe. That's subjective as well, I guess. Significance is very subjective. Oh man, it's oh my god, I was dropping my phone. It's tough. It's almost 2 a.m. What's 1:59? Um, I should be sleeping because I'm gonna have horrendous recovery tonight, or this morning technically. Horrendous recovery. Um, I, I don't even know if I'm gonna be able to wake up for the gym, but uh, let's focus on the now, and I shall post more videos more frequently. I think to keep this process and journey updated. Catch ya.